Yes, Doctor.
Okay, thank you. So we have about 18 students now. So we are still waiting for about 7, I believe, but we are going to start first. So today we are I'm going to share about chapter 9 on replacement and retention decisions. So as usual, before we proceed, I would like to know randomly among you guys, what first come to your mind when this topic being introduced, when you heard this title, replacement and retention decisions. What do you think we are going to discuss about? Or you may have come to this point in our life in deciding something. Anyone want to share anything? Okay, Fuad is in the meeting. Okay, it's fine. Noted on that. There's the struggle. I don't know how faculty arrange this modular, and with some of you are working, but that's fine. We recorded the session. Hopefully, it's going to help. Okay, guys. So anyone want to share? So I believe Aina is here today. Hi, Aina.
Hi, Doctor.
Finally you're here. Congrats. Okay. So what first comes to your mind when this title being introduced to you? What may we are going to look in this chapter? Aina. Hello, are you there?
Oh,
Okay.
okay. To make decision whether a product need to be replaced or not.
Okay, exactly.
Is it okay?
Okay, thank you. So basically, we are going to analyze when the existing machines or equipment that been in use, uh, uh, when to replace it. Maybe it's still in a good condition, but in terms of operational cost, does it keep increasing due to the efficiency? So usually um, we're going to use this. We call it ESL later on. We're going to introduce it to you. So basically, those are the learning outcomes of this chapter, particularly. So at the end of the lecture, you should be able to understand and able to do all of the 6 LO, or we call it learning outcomes. First is to explain the replacement terminology and basis. Basically, what are they, the wording on related to this. And then you should be able to determine the economic service life. Okay, so you may have product that can last long for 30 years or even 50 years, but we need to make sure, although it can be used, but does that product or machines are economically viable, you know? Because some of the machines you need to have a frequent maintenance that is going to include the maintenance cost going to increase compared to at the early stage, early lifetime of the machines. And then you should be able to perform the replacement and retention study, understand special situations in replacement, perform replacement study over specified time if the time is being given. If it's involved specific life cycle time, and calculate trade-in value. Means that when we sell the existing product that we have our existing asset or machines in order to buy a new one, so there's some the wording here trade in when we trade in the old machines. So we're going to calculate that as well. Okay, shall we continue? I believe so. Reasons for replacement study is to this is some of the reasons for replacement. Why we are studying this, right? Why we need to replace, although it still can able to function. Maybe it's not function well. Okay, so the performance been reduced, and we have some new requirements. Maybe the current machines, current technology are not able to cope with the recent requirements, or due to the obsolescence, right? So some of the important terminology here that we are going to frequently use in this chapter are Defender. We used this yesterday. I'm not sure about the previous other chapters, but yesterday we using this Defender. So basically, it is a currently installed asset, the current asset, current machines, current technology, current car, whatever it is, but the existing assets. And we have Challenger, means that when we are in thinking of changing that currently installed asset, so we are going to consider the new product, right? So that we call Challenger, right? Challenger. So potential replacement for Defender. So basically, Challenger, we are going to challenge the Defender to replace it. So we have Defender, we have Challenger, and next is market value. Okay, market value. So it's a value of Defender if sold in open market, right? So market value means if we have our existing machine, when we want to sell, okay, it's the value of that machine in the current market price. So we call it market value. Yes. And economic service life, this is how long the lowest AW of cost worker annual worth. We are going to focus on AW. It's going to make our life easy because especially when it involved with the different end, right? So economic service life is number of years which lowest AW cost occurs. Defender first cost is the market value of the Defender. Usually we're going to use as a P, present worth, and Challengers first cost is capital to recover. For Challenger, it's also on P. Sunk cost, pre-expenditure not recoverable. From Challenger cost, it's burn cost usually, and non-owner's viewpoint is third-party view. That's fine. So some of it you need to understand, since we are going to use that terminology like Defender, Challenger. I think top 5 here we are going to frequently use. Okay, so now we are going to see the example. The replacement basis. Okay, the replacement basis. We are going to give some scenario. Okay. As usual, the problem is going to be given in scenarios. Sometimes it's going to be a paragraph, sometimes it can be a 2 paragraphs, sometimes it's going to make your life miserable, going to give you 2 pages of problem for you to extract the information. So basically, the key point is to extract the given information. Okay, so here, what they ask us to do, just read first. Okay, an asset purchased 2 years ago for 40,000. So they give you first information. 2 years ago, an asset purchased at 40,000 is harder to maintain than expected. It can be sold now. So this is sold now, the price. What is this? What is 12,000 based on the terminology before? The existing asset, if you want to sell, then this is the price. This is the price. So what we call this 12,000?
Salvage value.
Sorry?
Salvage value.
Salvage value or market value, right? Market value of the Defender. They say it can be sold now for 12,000 or be kept for a maximum of 2 more years. Means that this asset can be sold now. If you sold now, the cost is 12. You get 12,000. Or you can keep this. It still can be functioned for 2 more years, but they have its operating cost, which is 20,000 each year. So when they give 20,000 each year, so we know this is AW each year, right? With a salvage value of 9,000. So again, they have a salvage value. After that 2 years of operating is 9,000. right? Means that if you sell now, you got 12,000. If you sell 2 years later, the value is 9,000. Okay, so this is the information for the existing asset. We call it defender. Are you still with me? We are reading the question together. Okay, so now came the challenger. A suitable challenger means that the alternative for replacing this asset will have a first cost of 60,000. So when they said first cost, we know this is, what is this? APF. The first cost of challenger. Is it present, future? Anyone? Sorry? P, yes, exactly. Thank you. So it's a first cost. First cost is always P. Okay. So now with annual operating cost of 4,100 per year. So this A, and they also have service value for 15,000 after 5 years. So it can be used for 5 years. So they ask you to determine the value of P, A, N, and S for defender and challenger. So while discussing, we already identified all of them, right? Okay. So for the defender, so we have identified here sorry. Okay. So defender for P is 12. Why 12? We discussed now, right? P. If you sell now, it's P. A is 20,000. N is 2. Right? Why N is 2? So they said if we can use it for 2 more years for defender. Information for defender on the first paragraph there, and this and the end of the second part of the paragraph is talking about the challenger. So S is salvage value 9,000. Okay. So for challenger, the same thing, 60,000, 4,100, N is 5, and salvage value is 15. So in this example, we want to show how we should be able to extract the information. So hope you understand this, because this is the first step. If we have failed to extract the information from the given scenario, so we can't proceed for the further analysis. Okay. Okay, so now we are going to see here on overview of a replacement study. So they are going to explain all the fundamental information in relation to assessing this replacement. Okay, so let's go quickly before, I believe, going through the example will give you a better understanding, but we just go through the slides here. So replacement studies are application of AW method. Okay, so for replacement, we are going to use AW. Don't use PW or FW. In comparing, and steady periods or planning horizon are either specified or unlimited. So when we are assessing, they give us the scenario, so they can specify N, like the previous example, N is 2 and N is 5, but they also can be unlimited time. There's no time limit. Okay, so if there's an unlimited study period, so there is several assumptions to be done. So service provided for indefinite future, so never ending. Okay, that's the assumption. Challenger is best available now and for future. Means that no need to wait for a certain N until we want to replace. So we always think that challenger is best available now in future and can be repeated in future life cycle. And cost estimates for each life cycle for defender and challenger remain the same. So the cost estimate is going to be the same when we are calculating them. We're going to see the example later. So if study period is specified, so this assumption does not hold. So no assumption. So replacement study procedure differ for two two cases. So if you have an unlimited study period, so the procedure are different. If you've been given specific study period, so the procedure is different. Okay. So what is ESL? Economic Service Life, ESL. So basically, we are going to look for this when we analyze. Refer to the asset retention time, right? Retention time, which is which end? The E is lowest equivalent AW. Okay. So ESL is the number of years and at which the equivalent uniform annual worth of cost is the minimum. So we are going to calculate the AW. You may have N 1 to 10. So we're going to see where the N, which year, the AW total cost is the lowest. So that is going to be considered as the ESL, considering the most current cost estimates. The ESL also referred to as the economic life or minimum cost life. Once determined, the ESL should be estimated life for the asset used in an engineering economy study, if only economics are considered. Okay, so when we are considering financial or monetary aspect only, if you have other criteria, so that's depends. Okay, now we are just focusing or assessing based on the economic consideration, means that based on its worth, the lowest cost. So when N years have passed, okay, the ESL indicate that the asset should be replaced. Let's say you calculate, when we assess, then we find out that from N1 to N10, so we found out that the lowest AW, that is during N3. So we are going to say the ESL is 3. So after year 3, we need to replace. That's what they are explaining here. Okay. So ESL indicates that asset should be replaced to minimize overall cost. If not, the costs are going to keep increasing, So to perform a replacement study correctly, it is important that the ESL of the challenger and ESL of the defender be determined. So we're going to identify the ESL for both challenger and defender. Since their end values are usually non-pre-established, we're not really sure about their end, the years. So the ESL is determined by calculating total AW cost if the asset is in service 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and so on, up to the last year. So we are going to determine one by one the ESL. So total AW of cost in sum of capital recovery, which is the AW of the initial investment and any salvage value, and the AW of the estimated annual operating cost. So we have these 3 things, right, using this AW. So we can determine by calculating AW for the N, for the whole years. Okay, so this is the general equation. Total annual worth is capital recovery. We are going to minus with the annual operating cost of AOC. Okay, so by having this, we are going to compare. Let's go to the example. Okay, so this is the example. Determine the ESL of an asset. So this is the information for an asset, which has the cost as below, and they give I is 10%. So what we need to do? We need to calculate the AW for each year. Okay, so what we need to do first? We are going to calculate the AW for year N1. So how to calculate AW for year 1? Guys, what we should do? What we're going to do? This is year, okay? This is year. This is cost per year, and this is salvage value. Right? This is the information that they given. So what is cost per year?
Annual.
Annual. Okay, so this is annual. So this is annual. And salvage value?
Half year.
Sorry? What is salvage value? Salvage value means that once the product is cannot be used, then you're going to sell, right? Salvage value. Anyone want to guess? Sorry? Future, yes, exactly. Exactly. Because this is you're going to sell at the end of the life. So now you have A for cost, and then the salvage value F. So you need to calculate the AW. You need to calculate for AW for each year. So we are going to start with AW1. Okay. So AW1, you have the year 0 here. Okay, 20,000. Right. And then minus with 5,000 of this cost. And you have this salvage value. So we are going to calculate this. Did you understand this? How we get this AW1? Hello? Okay, Loga say understand. So why this 20,000, okay, need to do some conversion here. Although we say it's an AW per year. This is previous chapter, maybe chapter February, I guess. Yes, anyone? Because this year 0, if you draw the cash flow, so this year 0 means current year, right? Current now, so it's P. P for the year 0, right? But not for year 1, year 2, year 3. So Y is P, and then you need to find a 20,000 year 0, and then you minus with 5,000. Okay. Then we need to do this operation here, and then you have 10,000 here. So we are going to get 17,000 for AW1. I don't want to go detail on calculating this. You should be able to follow this. So I'm going to explain the concept. Okay. So AW. So we need to calculate the AW for 1. We are done. So now we need to calculate the AW for 2. Okay. So what are the informations going to involve? So now it's 0, 1, and 2. We're going to use all the information. Okay. So I give you the answer. So minus 20,000. Now n is 2. Right? And then you're going to calculate this 5,000 and this 6,500, right? And then this 8,000. Why you don't include this 10,000?
It is for year 1.
Yes. What will happen if you use? It's going to be wrong. The salvage value is the end of the year that we are analyzing. So in this case, n is 2. So we are just ignoring this. Okay. So the same thing. Once you're done, okay. So when you're done on this, so you got this value AW, and once you're done on AW2, you're going to calculate AW3. Okay. The salvage value you're going to use 5,000. The same thing, you're going to calculate AW4. You're going to use all the information given. So as usual, the salvage value is going to be the N4. The same thing until if. So you need to calculate each one by one. Okay. So to save our time, I give the answer. So so based on the comparison, Okay, so this is what the AW that we get. So this is for AW1, 17,000. This is for AW2, 13,429. AW3, 13,239. And then AW4, 12,864. And AW5, 13,623. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to look for the lowest AW, the cost, the lowest operating cost. Which one is in red here? Okay, so 12,864. So we can conclude that the ESL, we are calculating ESL, right? The N. So ESL is 4 years. So that's going to be the answer. Do you get it? The concept. You need to calculate the AW, and then we compare which AW is the lowest. So the lowest is year 4 in this analysis. So ESS is going to be 4. Does it clear, guys?
Yes, doctor.
Okay.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, thank you. So I have prepared a question here. As usual, after one example, they're going to have a questions. But basically, you're going to use the same steps as the previous example here. Okay, so I give you 2 questions, but I request to skip this, and I hope you can try this by your own. So the same thing, you're going to calculate the AW for 1, AW for 2, AW for 3, AW for 4, AW for 5, right? And then you're going to compare. So I give the answer here, okay? Give the answer, you can choose, you can check. So you should get ESL 3, which is the lowest the cost, AW. The same thing here, a bit different, but they have A and B. Please read, try to extract the information and try to calculate. So you need to do this, and then you can compare with the given answer here. So you should get year 3 as a ESL. Any difficulties, you can let me know, but please discuss with your friends first. I believe this is straightforward. You should be able to get the answer. Okay, so now we are entering a bit further, in performing a replacement study. So as explained previously, there is a scenario where no study period specified and you have study period specified. If no study period is specified, we can perform ESL analysis, right? As what we did before in previous example. So you have your AW for defender and AW for challenger, and then you're going to select the better. The same thing. But if the study period is specified, we need to develop a succession options for the defender and challenger using AW of respective cash flow. And then we need to analyze either using AW or PW. So if you want to be consistent, just use AW. But in this case, you also can use PW. Okay, and then we're going to choose the best option. So basically, this is what we are going to see. Okay, so performing a replacement study for unlimited study period. So we will need to calculate the AW, annual worth of the defender, and annual worth of the challenger based on their ESL. Then we are going to select the lower annual worth. So if, let's say, when after the analysis, you found out that challenger was selected, right? Challenger was selected. So in step 1, so we are going to keep N challenger for n years based on its years, economic life cycle of Challenger. If the defender was selected, we need to keep the defender for 1 more year, and then we're going to repeat the analysis 1 year later. What they're telling here, if we want to replace an existing technology, we do the annual worth analysis, right? And then if the decision is to replace, then that's fine. You just replace the existing technology with the Challenger, the new technology. But if from the analysis, it shows that the existing technology is better, still functioning, and AW lower, so we can just keep it for 1 year. Next year, we need to do the analysis again. So that what is explained here. As long as all estimates remain current in succeeding years, keep defender until end defender is reached, and then replace defender with base Challenger. If any estimates change before end defender is reached, so we need to repeat the step 1 to 2. Okay, so just go and check this information. I believe this is the similar example that we are going to consistently use. Okay, so an asset purchased 2 years ago, 40,000, harder to maintain, can be sold now for 12,000 or kept for maximum 2 more years. In which case, cooperative cost will be 20,000 each year with a salvage value of 10,000 after 1 year. Okay, so we need to extract the information. Salvage value N1 is 9,000. Sorry, 10,000. If it's 2 years, 9,000. So this is the information for defender. Now we are talking about Challenger. We'll have an annual worth 24,000, interest rate 10%. Should the defender be replaced now? 1 year from now or 2 years from now? So what we need to do, guys? Try to calculate this. They are asking, the question is asking, when is the best time to replace? Is it replace it now, or replace it 1 year from now, or 2 years from now? So what we should do? What we need to do? Hello?
AW.
AW, yes, for what?
Defender.
Exactly. So if you go back here, if you go back to the replacement study, calculate the AW for defender and AW for Challenger, and select the lower AW. So exactly, we are going to calculate the ESL for defender. So what's the AW for defender? What's the information that we have?
Uh, 12,000 sold now.
Okay, sold now. So this is the P, right? Okay, how about this 40,000?
40,000 is the
Sorry?
40,000 is the PMAX.
Sorry, it's not clear. I couldn't catch your word.
The 40,000 is the initial cost.
What cost?
Initial cost.
So where we use this 40,000?
I don't use it.
Sorry?
I think no, it's not a use.
Not going to use? Yes. How about others? Yes, guys. How about others? Where this 40,000 we are going to use this 40,000? Yes, Aswan, are you there? Or anyone else? So Darwin said this is the initial cost. And is that you said we are not going to use this in calculation? Darwin, is that what you want to say just now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Darwin say this 40,000 we are not going to consider in the calculation. So how about others? Anyone? Afiq, are you there, Afiq? Afiq? Azmiza? Hello? Azmiza? Azmiza Idayu. Okay. Haliana? Okay, you don't have. Then Shakiran? Shakiran, are you there? Are you following this lecture, Shakiran? So what on the meeting just now? Who is Phoenix Canis? Is it your name or your pen name? Phoenix Canis. Who's that? Are you there? If no one is answering, then am I talking to myself and with Darwin today in this lecture?
I think we're not using the 40,000, Doctor.
Okay, Lokman. Okay, why we are not using it? Thank you, Lokman.
Because they say they purchased 2 years ago already.
Okay,
Uh,
okay. Thank you. Okay, how about Aina? Are you there?
I agree with Darwin and Lokman, Doctor.
Sorry?
It's a first cost. 40,000 is the first cost, right?
Okay, so now we are asking, this is the scenario, and this 40,000, where in the calculation you are going to consider?
Then, Doctor?
So this 40,000, where and when you are going to use?
Um, mm,
Not sure.
uh, I don't think 40,000 need to be counted for AWD.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know.
It's
I
okay.
don't know. Sorry.
It's okay. Darwin, Lokman, and Aina got the point there. Actually, we're not considering at all this 40,000. Sometimes we need to be careful when they're giving you scenarios. Sometimes they're going to give unnecessary information, which you're not going to use it in the calculation. So if you accidentally use them, then you're going to lead to the wrong answer. So in this case, this is the all information. You know, when they purchased 2 years ago, right? Like Lokman and Darwin said just now. So this is just for confusing us. Okay. So we are going to start with 12,000 as a P.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, I have one question.
Yes.
Now
Darwin.
say it's 1 or 2 years. Let's say it's like it's more than that, maybe 4 years or what? Sir?
Actually, I couldn't catch what you're saying.
So
Sorry.
in case the years we're using now, the years is for it says at 1 or 2 years, correct? Sir?
Sorry, you mean the question here?
Yeah, the question.
Okay. Okay.
1 or 2
What's the
years. But
question?
let's say with 4 years and above or 5 years and above, that time do we need to include the initial cost?
Yes, I couldn't really catch. Can you just type so I can check? You're asking something on initial cost, but it's not clear. Maybe if your friends hear the question, you can help to explain it to me. But I couldn't really catch the voice of Darwin just now. Suloga has replied in the chat. Okay. So Darwin, what was the question? Are you typing? So, okay, if the defender to be replaced at year 4, okay, year 4, defender year 4 and above, do we need to include the initial cost in our calculation? If defender to be replaced at year 4, okay, let me check what they are saying here. Defender. Okay, so they are asking here, defender replace now, 1 year from now, or 2 years from now. So you are asking, what if the defender to be replaced at year 4 and above? Okay, so basically we are not going to include the initial cost because it's also being passed, right? So we are going to get the value of this, like something like this. They give the market price. Like here, 12,000 if sell now, right? Maybe if they sell 4 years, in 4 years time, maybe the value is, let's say, 4,000. So we are going to use that 4,000. But in this scenario is exactly a different scenario. Am I answering your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so we continue to our example here. So we are calculating the AW. Okay, so 12,000, the market value of the defender. Okay, so it's in P, so we want to find A, N is 10%, it's given here, and year 1, right? So 1. But what's next?
20,000 each year.
20,000 each year, right? So is there any conversion need to take place?
No.
No. Why? Because it's on each year, means that it's annual, right? Then next,
10,000 is the future.
yeah, the salvage value, right? So this is the future salvage value. We want to find A, so N is 1. So this is the AW. Okay. And then we are going to calculate the AW for 2. This is if we replace now, 1 year from now and 2 years from now. Okay, okay, fine. Okay, so this D2, if it's 2 years, so N is going to be different, you know, and then the salvage value going to be different, N is 2. So we got these 2, right? So ESL is N equal to 2 based on the answer here. Okay, why? Because this is the lower. The lowest AW. So AWD, the defender, the best is this, right? So now we are going to compare with the challenger. What's in this case for the challenger, they give the annual worth, right? What is the AW for challenger?
24,000.
24,000 means that we no need to do any calculation because they give that, right? So now we can compare. Okay, so the compare, is it, which one is the lowest? Is it challenger or defender? This or this? We need to compare. Which one? Which one is the lowest?
Defender.
Defender the lowest. Okay, defender the lowest. So we are going to say the lower AW is this one. So what we are going to do? Which one is the
Replace.
best? So what?
Replace defender.
Yeah, replace defender in 2 years. Yeah, because this is for AW defender and we are using N as a 2, right? So this is the lowest. So after 2 years. So there is a note previously, okay, if you still remember. Okay, if where is it just now? If defender was selected, right? If defender was selected, what we need to do, we keep the defender and then repeat the analysis, right? Yeah, they give you 1 more year, but in our calculation here, it shows that we keep it for 2 years, and after that, we need to conduct 1 year later analysis next year. Although they say keep it for 2 years, but after 1 year we do the analysis again, just to make sure is there any changes in our decision. This is especially when we keep the challenger. I'm sorry, defender. I hope this is clear. So again, you have the question here. Do you want to try this? Crushing machine. Of course, we are going to give the long sentence for you to be confused, extract the information wrongly. So you lead to the wrong answer. But that's not the intention. You should be able to extract information and then compare the AW. Okay, so I give the answer here. So I hope you can try this by yourself and in your group or with your colleague. Okay, so you should be able to get this answer. Okay, AW for defender 1 and 1 and 2, and then for challenger, and then we're going to compare among them. So when they got the challenger is the lowest, so the answer would be also the process now. Change the process now. The same thing for question 4. We give you two questions for each example. Okay, so please do. But in this case, we have another 5. Okay. So basically, you can follow the steps that we have explained here in this example replacement analysis. And the slides is available in the ULearn. Okay, now.
Doctor,
Yes.
so can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Doctor, I want to ask, in this replacement analysis, is it cash flow diagram no need to sketch at all? No need to sketch at all.
Okay, it depends. Basically, if we able to extract the information, then there is you can continue with the calculation. But if we have a long sentence, then you think that you may get confused. So it's advisable to draw the cash flow diagram, and you're going to have maybe 2 different cash flow diagrams because you have defender and you have challenger. So you need to differentiate that. Don't get confused because you're going to have the arrow maybe on the different arrows, right? So just that. But from what we have seen here, the example, we can easily extract the information, right, without confusion. So you can proceed with the analysis. So it's depend. I would say good if you can draw, but you need to differentiate defender scenario and also challenger scenario. Okay. Okay. But I guess if we able to identify this PA, the salvage cost, so you can proceed with the calculation. But drawing or transform it into the cash flow diagram would be good to avoid any confusion, and also we may take different answers confusing between challenger and defender, so you can just draw the cash flow.
Doctor, normally cost is arrow will go down, and the salvage normally cost will go up.
Yes. So now here, if we check, we still put negative here, right? For negative for the cost, and this one for salvage value is positive, right? So we still maintain the positive and negative sign, right? So this is for cost, 12,000. What is 12,000? If it's sold now, 12,000, and then This is 20, will be operating cost 20. Salvage value is 9, yeah. So salvage value is positive. But I believe if you can extract information, you can just proceed with the calculation. Okay, now we are going to see on additional considerations on opportunity cost approach. Is the procedure that previously presented obtaining P for the defender. We call it opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the money forgone by keeping the defender. Okay, not selling it. Okay, so they say here, this is the cost that we hold because we are not selling that defender. Okay, so why is become negative, right? In the previous example. So this approach is always correct. Cash flow approach subtract income received from sale of defender from first cost of challenger. So potential problems with cash flow approach provide falsely low value for capital recovery of challenger and can't be used if the remaining life of defender is not same as that of challenger. So this is a big confusion with the cash flow on regards on this opportunity cost, right? Go back to this, and it's related to what Tom asked just now. So here we put negative, right? 12,000, but if it's be sold now, right? But in this case, if it's not sold, then it's going to be the opportunity cost. So why it become negative? So they're talking about that something here. Okay, so replacement analysis over specified study period. Okay, so now is if the study period is being mentioned. Okay, so same procedure as before, except calculate AW values over study period instead of over ESL. It is necessary to develop all viable defender challenger combination and calculate AW or PW. In this case, you also can use PW. To be safe, just use AW for each one over study period. Okay, and select option with lowest cost or highest income. So we're going to choose lower cost or highest income. So we're going to see the example. What they're saying here, we need to consider all the possibilities, all the options that we have, and then each option we need to calculate the AW or PW, and then we compare. Okay, so we are going to see the example. Okay, the same example, I believe we are using this consistent example from the first slides to this. Okay. Okay, I don't want to read. Been tiring reading this same scenario. So suitable challenger have an annual worth of 24,000 per year, interest rate 10 over a steady period of exactly 2 years. Okay. So now they give N is 2. So determine when the defender should be replaced. So what we need to do now? Guys? You confused?
Oh.
We
You get the value of AW
yes.
or defender and challenger.
Exactly. We are going to calculate the AW. We can't run away. It's always AW. But we calculated before. You know, we calculated before, right? So we just took this information, right? We calculated before. So we took this information in this example. Okay. So from previous analysis, AWD for 1 and 2 years and AW for challenger is 23,200, 22,629, and AW 24,000. Okay. So based on the, so they are asking when the defender should be replaced, right? So it can be used 2 years, right? So are we going to change it on year 3 or year 1 now or year 2? So what are the alternatives that we have? What we can do? Now we need to imagine, or we need to identify all the possibilities that can happen. So what are the possibilities here? Year 1, Year 2, Year 3. Although they say suitable challenger have exactly 2 years, right? But can be sold now. So you can sold now, or you can keep it for 2 more years, right? So what are the possibilities that we have? You can change. You can just change it, sell it now, right? Sell it now, and then you use the challenger for the years. New, you have a new one, right? You have a new one for all cases. Okay. So this is the answer. Just go show the answer. So we have several options. The first one is we change it immediately, the challenger. So we are going to have challenger for each year, year 1, year 2, and year 3. Or we can use defender for 1 year, right? Because they give some information here, right? After year 1, year 2, or blah, blah, blah. So you can use the old machine or the defender for year 1, and then you change it challenger on the 2nd year, right? 2nd year and 3rd year is going to have the challenger. Or you can keep it for maximum 2 years, the defender, and then you change to the challenger. So this is all the possibilities that we have. So did you understand this? What I'm trying to explain here. Okay, Tom said yes.
Doctor,
Yes.
excuse me, doctor. Doctor,
Yes.
if we use defender 3 times, if I also right?
Okay, so here, if we read here, they say can be kept for a maximum of 2 more years.
Okay.
Yeah. So the maximum that we can use is 2 years. So it can be sold now, means that now, which is the scenario is this one. Okay, the first scenario, the first option is if you sell now, you change it now, or kept for 2 more years, which is this one, the option 3, right? Or you also can use it for 1 year, because they say if after 1 year, you know, the salvage value is 10,000, means that you also can sell after 1 year. So that the option 2 here. So this is the all option that we think can happen. So you should be able to list down the option. So this is what being explained here. It is necessary to develop all viable defender challenger combination. So this is the all viable options, and we need to calculate either AW or PW, which we are going to do now. It's been done, we're just going to see it. Okay, so year 1, C, challenger. Which is challenger? This is the AW, right? So 24,000. 24,000 for all, because all are challenger. So we are going to get the average here, the average. So we got 24,000. How about for the second option? We use the defender. So what's the defender's value? For year 1, 2, 3, 200. This one. Okay. And then challenger for year 2, of course, challenger, we only have one value here, 24,000, and challenger 24,000. So we calculate the average, then you got this value. We are going to do the same for the third option, D, which is defender. Defender year 1. So we need to be careful, because for defender we have 2 information, 2 value, one for D1, one for D2. Defender year 1 and defender year 2. So if year one, I'm sorry. I got confused. If we choose D2, so we need to take the D2 value, right? Like here, D is only 1, means that we choose the scenario of this. What's the possibility of error here? When we see D1, then you put D1 here, 23,000. So it's going to be wrong because this is only for year one. I mean, the overall N is 1. But now, overall N is 2 because we use DD. So we should only take this information. Even me going to have a slight confusion just now. Okay, so 22929. So so you're going to take the same information, and then for challenger 24. So you're going to get the average value. This. So now we are going to choose the lowest. Which one is the lowest, guys? So it's 23,086. Right. So what's the best option now? What
Keep defender 2 years.
Yes, exactly. So they are asking, so determine when the defender should be replaced. So keep for 2 years. It's not changed on year 2, but keep for 2 years. So you are going to change it on year 3. So the decision is option 3, keep the defender for 2 years. Then we replace. So that's the thing on the specified period. So does it sound good? Do you think you can follow the concept of this, guys? Yes.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for responding. So we are going to have several examples. I mean, the questions here. Please read and try to extract the information or understand. Okay, and they give the AW if kept or used stated number of years. So if you keep for 1 year, so this is the information. If you keep for 2 years, this is the information. If you keep for year 3, the defender keep, the challenger, you change it during year 1. So this is going to be the information. Okay, so they ask you determine when. Determine when. Now I don't want to discuss the answer. I want to discuss the concept of what you should do. So determine when the defender should be replaced to minimize of the cost of this company for the 3-year study period using interest rate of 10. So what we need to do? Replace now, should be replaced now or at any time over the next 3 years. Since the present equipment or the proposed equipment can be used for any or all of 3-year period, one of the company proceed AW. Okay, so this is the AW after they calculate it. So they ask whether it should be replaced now or at any time in these 3 years. Okay, so what we need to do first? Of course, we need to calculate the AW. So it's been given, right? Okay, but what you need to do? We need to identify the possibilities, right? So what are the possibilities here? You can replace it now means that you can replace it now. You can replace it on year 2. You can replace it in year 3, right? So that's the thing. From that, you're going to calculate for each. Okay, so I give answer, detailed answer for this question. So you can keep the defender for 3 years, or you can use the defender for 2 years and then challenger for 1 year, or defender for 1 year and challenger for 2 years, or you can just use challenger for all 3 years. Replace it now. Okay, so this is the 4 possibilities, and in this example, it's showing to calculate this using PW. Right. So this each calculation for them, I hope you can go through later on. Okay, so by having this, you compare, this is 6217, 361022, 63440, 67146. So which one is the lowest? This one is the lowest. Okay, 61, right? This is the lowest. So lowest is this one. So plan 3. What is plan 3? This one. Use the Defender for 1 year and the Challenger for 2 years. So this is how we do. I just give some answer here so you can check. And this is the another question you can try to do. I give the answer as well in the slides. If you don't do, then you never experience it. You're not going to understand where the mistakes can take place. So apply. Please try to do. Okay. So now we are going to the, I believe, to the very last sub chapter, which is replacement value. We are going to do this quickly before we end our session. Okay. So hope you are still okay with me. Okay. I know this is a compressed version of lecture, but it's a modular, and this is what usually we do. Okay. So let's go quickly. Replacement value or RV. What is this? Market or trade-in value. Okay. Of defender that renders A, W defender and C equal to each other. So we are going to see, we are going to make it equal, the defender's cost and also the challenger's cost, and then we are going to see what the replacement value worth. Okay. So what we need to do, set up the equation. Annual worth for defender is equal to annual worth of challenger, and also use RV instead of P for defender. Okay, you're going to have P value, right? So we use RV. RV is the replacement value. So if defender can be sold for amount greater than RV, challenger is a better option because it will have a lower AW value. Means that if we assess, we calculate, and then we identify that the defender, the current technology or current machine or current equipment can be sold for amount that higher than replacement value, means that is good. Okay, means that is good. Okay, just go to the question. So we are going to have the similar scenario again. Okay, so we have a suitable challenger. Initial cost 65,000, annual cost 15,000, salvage value 18,000 after N is 5. Okay, so what is this? This is challenger. Of course, we are going to have the defender. We have discussed this 40,000 2 years ago. Okay, but now we are talking about now is the P value 12,000, or kept for maximum 2 years. For more year, operating cost will be 20,000. Salvage value 10,000. Okay, so what you need to do, this is rule of thumb. We are going to equate annual worth of defender and challenger. Okay, so can we do now? Okay, because this one is we need to find it, right? We're going to find it. So this is P. Okay, this is P. So we need to find A, 10%, N is 2. And we minus 20,000. Okay, 20,000. Where is this 20,000? Okay, and 10,000. This one. Salvage value N of 2. So this is what we are going to, that we have equate the defender's AW. So now AW for C. So what is AW for C? Initial cost 65,000. What is this? This is P, right? This is P, which we are going to find A. Okay, 65,000. P, we find A, and then you have 15,000 is already a annual worth. Salvage value is 18,000 for N5. So we have to equate this. Okay. So if you calculate, then we're going to get 24,228. Right? So this is the replacement value. So thus, if market value of defender, if the defender is more than 24,228, then we select challenger. Right? Means that this is the replacement value. If it's 12,000, then it's better to just keep the defender. If it's 20,000, it's better to keep the defender. But it's more than the replacement value, then we are going to select the challenger. So this is what all about on replacement value. So you can look back at this example, okay? Basically equate this and then set P basically is P, but we put RV, okay, as explained here just now, right? Yeah, use RV in place of P, and then calculate, you got the RV. So what's the conclusion that we can do? If market value of defender, right, is greater than 24,228, then we select challenger. So we are done. So I have I have questions here, question 8 and question 9. I also have give the answer as usual. Okay, this is what you should get each scenario. Okay, I hope you can do. If we are in a physical class, then we can make this session interactive. Okay, we can discuss together. You're going to discuss, but I believe that yeah, we have some constraints. So I let it to you guys to do this. You can discuss among yourself. Even you can reach me back if you have anything, right? So we're going to the summary. So this is what we have went through today in replacement study. P for presently owned assets as its market value. Quick ESL is the end value that yields the lowest AW. So we're going to choose the lowest AW. In replacement study, if no study period specified, we are going to calculate AW for each alternative. Compare, okay, and then we are going to choose the lowest. This opportunity cost approach is correct. It recognizes money forgone by keeping the defender, not by reducing challenges first cost. So if the study period is specified, we need to consider all viable defender challenger combination in the analysis. We looked at it just now. And finally, replacement value is P value for defender, right? So we just relabel it as RV in order for us to identify it. So we need to equate or equal AW of challenger and also defender. So that's all for the class today. So if you have any question, you can let me know now.
Doctor,